My name is Aleia. I am the news editor for XXL. So first I wanted to say thank you. I see that you have a lot going on today. So just want to thank you for carving out some time to chat with me about your album. You know, you got some other ventures going on that we want to talk about. So we'll just get the ball rolling. So How Did I Get Here is out now. How are you feeling about it? How I know it was a labor of love, seemed like. So just how you feeling about it?
I feel good. I feel real good about it. It was a just to see the reaction to something that was so personal, you know what I'm saying? To see how the world is reacting to it feel good.
Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So tell me a little bit about the concept of it, because I know the album artwork looked like it was like a baby picture maybe of like you, and I don't know if that was your mom.
Mm-hmm, me and my mom.
Okay, so tell me a little bit about the concept of the album and why you chose that picture in particular to like accompany this body of work.
Honestly, I ask myself all the time, like, how did I get here? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it'd be such a journey that you can't really, you don't see it before. Like, you don't see the start of the journey. You really see the end of it, like what the work or the whatever you went through during that time to get where you was trying to go. You know what I mean? No matter what career you choose, I feel like you never see that shit from the start. You never really see where you're going, or you can have an idea, but you don't see it. Right. So when I look back at pictures like that, I'm like, damn, like what was going through that little nigga mind at that time? Like, you know what I mean? What was going, to me now. Yeah. So that was the whole concept of how did I get here? Like me looking at life through my younger eyes. Like, you know what I mean? Not really seeing it what it is now, but me looking back then, like what was I seeing life for then? You know what I mean?
Okay. So about how long did it take for you to kind of just put everything together, from just like coming up with the idea for it and then it came out? So about how long did it take for all of that to take place?
It took me a week to record the music. Okay. But I feel like the idea that I came with, and the going through my mother's photo albums and finding all those photos and shit like that, that was about a month's time, because just me running around doing other shit, but me really wanting that to come out a certain way, probably about a month.
Okay, that's pretty quick. So you just be in the studio, grinding it out, pumping out the music, just clockwork.
Yeah, I record 4 or 5 songs a day. Okay. So at that rate, and to pick, I had maybe 15 or 16 records for this album, but I didn't want to give them that much music. I wanted to keep it kind of short, you know what I mean, where it was really focused on those songs that I chose. But yeah, I record a lot. It's like it's a sport. I look at it like a sport. Mm-hmm. If you playing ball, you gotta get in the gym, get your shots up, make sure, you know what I'm saying? So I stay prepared musically, you know what I mean? I keep some music.
Okay, and you dunking and not laying it up, right?
Got the dunk.
So you worked on projects before with just one producer, right? You dropped Hoffa last year with Harry Fraud. Right. So tell me a little bit about the synergy between you and Mike and Keys.
Oh, that's my brothers, man. Mike and Keys that's my sound, 100%. They are like one of the few producers in the game that really just got my sound down packed, mm-hmm. without even really trying. But I met them through Nip. God bless my brother's soul. Nipsey introduced me to them. Okay. And since we met, the records me and Nipsey did together was Mike and Keys Productions. Mm-hmm. And then they did Handsome for me. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I did a record called Handsome. They produced that. Mm-hmm. But I was talking to them like, yo, we gotta do an album, bro. Just me rapping on y'all beats, nobody else. Like, yeah. So we finally put it in play. I hit Mike one day. I was like, yo, I'm gonna do that. Let's do the album this week. Just send me a pack. Okay. They based out of LA, you know what I mean? I recorded the majority of it in New York.
Okay.
And they sent me a pack, and that's how did I get here. That's it.
Cool, because you definitely answered one of my questions. I was gonna ask, did you record it in LA, since that's where they're based out of? Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
I did it home. I feel like with them being a LA based production duo, mm-hmm. They got an ill West Coast sound, mm-hmm. to their music. So for me to rap over it, I think it just kind of bridged that East Coast, West Coast gap. I think it just sounds good. Because a lot of people is used to me rapping on New York shit. You know what I mean? Like more New York sounding beats. I think with them, it was a lot more soulful. Mm-hmm. Just a different vibe from what people usually get from me. You know what I mean? I love it.
Absolutely. It's definitely a switch up from those kind of look like more gritty, ominous type of
Right.
beats. You know, it's just, yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna talk about a couple of the songs you got. So in 1,000 miles, is that figurative for like how far you've come in the rap game versus like where you started? Or at least that's what my perception of it was. But am I like
Right.
spot on, or is
Yeah, somewhat, yeah. But
okay?
it's really it's really based when I say 1,000 miles from home, still feel like I'm home. That's really like me just being able to adapt anywhere I'm at.
Okay.
And I got that directly from my moms, like, you know what I'm saying? Like my father too, but my moms really taught us no matter what room you in, no matter where you at, you gotta, you know what I mean? You gotta make it your home. You know what I'm saying? Make it where you're comfortable enough to be anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Except a jail cell or some shit like that. But wherever you at on this earth, you gotta, you know what I mean? Basically stand on your own too, wherever you at. So that's really that's what that song really means. Wherever I'm at, I'm comfortable.
Okay.
Just in my own shell. I don't have to try to be nothing I'm not. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So for the song you have with Music Soul Child, Deeper Than Love, how did that collab come about?
With music, I've been a fan of music forever, man. Like I feel like his whole when he really was rocking and rolling out here, that was like my adolescent years, like my first, you know what I mean? When I first was getting into girls and shit like that. So I feel like music, like his music kind of helped raise me. You know what I mean? Like my teenage years, shit like that. So for him to be a fan of what I do now was incredible to me. And it was simple. I reached out. I let him know I had a record for him that I didn't want nobody else on but him. Mm-hmm. He sent it right back.
Okay. And so you've done some songs for the ladies before. You had Perfect with Chris Brown. So how important is it for you to kind of offer that duality where you have something for the fellas, you have something for the ladies, you kind of like have something for both? How important is that for you?
I feel like all the greats did it. Okay. You know what I mean? Of course, it'd be like my natural instinct to talk some street shit for the hood. Like, but when I really go back and listen to Biggie and Nas and Tupac, and they all had records for women. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Even in the mix of all that other shit they was talking about, they always had a record or two or three that the girls could get with, whether it was the beat, whether it was the shit they was talking about. Mm-hmm. So that I feel like that's always a good blend, because I'm not just making music for niggas. You know what I'm saying? I got a large female fan base, supportive. A lot of women support what I got going on. So I gotta always get them something. You know what I'm saying? Something on the tape gotta be aimed at them.
Yeah, for sure. We can't be left out. You know, we want to.
And it was just like, wasn't it just like National Women's Day that just passed, right?
It's also Women's History Month too, the whole month of March.
Women's
So
month,
we
right?
got a whole lot. Yeah, we
so
need
that dropped. Yeah, I dropped that at the right time. You
exactly.
feel me?
You hit us with the 1-2. We got the Anthony Hamilton too. So it's like, okay, you got us. Yeah. So I want to ask about that too, right? Because you shared a clip on your Instagram. You seem really excited about being able to actually get Anthony Hamilton on your record.
Right.
What did that feel like? You know, like just, I feel like there's a lot of things that we want to have happen, and sometimes when it comes to fruition, we're still surprised that it actually happened. So what did that feel like for you? To be
crazy, man. Like I said, when you like these people are legends in my eyes as far as what they did and what they brought to the game, to the they legendary to me. So to even have them acknowledge what I'm doing, let alone do a record with me, you know what I mean? But just the acknowledgement is crazy to me, you know what I mean? And then them being fans of what I got going, it just let me know the countless nights in the studio, I mean, just all the hours I put into this shit, it wasn't a waste. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a waste of time, you know what I mean? Because I don't really base or judge what I got going on no Billboard or no. I mean, I don't really rate myself based on that. #1 albums and that's all dope, but I base it on like the people that I looked up to and the music I was listening to coming up. Mm-hmm. They all fuck with me, like, you know what I'm saying. So that just let me know, like, I'm moving down the right path. You know what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. And the songs are fire, so it works. You know what I'm saying? It's like you got a formula that is just successful. You know, it's pretty good. So you've been doing this for a minute, maybe like over 10 years at this point. You've been putting out tapes and albums and projects. How do you push yourself to continue to be inventive in your music without being repetitive and putting out the same type of stuff?
Just life. I gotta be inspired to even want to make a project or to want to put out a new body of work. So it'd be different just different shit happening in my life. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I had another child. I got 2 baby girls now. So that, like a lot of different things just be happening outside of rap, outside of music that really influences the shit I be talking about. So I go back and listen to my previous projects to really make sure I'm not being redundant or I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not really repeating myself or talking about the same type of shit.
Mhm.
It's based on my life though. Every day something new come in life. So I really, you know what I mean? As I get older, as I grow, I'm constantly talking about my life experiences. So I feel like the music always change.
Okay. So you work with Method Man on Unbelievable, right? And
Child.
you guys have a relationship, you know, a bond. And I'm gonna tap into that too with the Wu-Tang series that you're in. But what was that like working with him on a record after portraying him in this series?
Insane.
Yeah.
Insane. I called him. I said, bro, we gotta fuck them up one time. They've been seeing me acting like you. We gotta let's get to this rap shit, man.
Uh-huh.
He like, let's do it. Send it over. I'm waiting on you.
Okay.
So I did the I had already did my part on the Unbelievable record.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm sitting listening to it. And I'm like, nah, this is meth. I need meth on this shit.
Mm-hmm.
He had another one. I sent it to him, he sent it right back. So we actually about to do the video for that one, I think this week. Yeah, this week coming up, we about to shoot the video for that. But yeah, that was incredible, man. Just to hear him, it's like we sparring. You know what I mean? Like we wasn't together doing it. So it was like, you know what I mean? I sent it to him and it's like, you know what I mean? It's like a boxing match. Like, let me get like I'm knowing Meth is getting on. Like I had to know that my verse, I felt that confident in my verse to send it to him. Like I ain't switch up nothing. Like what I recorded, I left it like it was.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? So for him to get it and you know what I mean, do what he did on it, it's a sport. I love it. I love it. But I know in his mind, he like, I can't let this young nigga pack me up. And I'm like, I can't let this nigga pack me up. Like, you know what I mean? So I think it came out super dope. And I think it's just dope for New York. It's dope for rap.
Yeah.
For me and him to do a record like that together with me being portraying Method Man on the Wu-Tang.
Yeah, for sure. So I want to tap into the acting a little bit. How involved has he been with your transition from rap into acting, since he clearly can identify with what that even feels like?
Ask me that one more time. You broke up a little bit.
Oh, sorry about that. I said, how involved has he been in your transition into acting? Because he's obviously kind of followed a similar path with being a rapper and also an actor.
Meth is on deck for me. Like anytime I call him, any questions I got about anything going on, like even about other roles, like that's not the Method Man role. You know what I mean? I ask him questions about like, you know what I mean, auditions and shit I'm doing. He keep it a buck. You know what I mean? That's what I like about Meth. Meth ain't nobody that's gonna just tell you anything because you want to hear it. He keep it all the way real. So he's definitely somebody in my corner, like a mentor that I could talk to about anything from rap to family to the music to the acting, all walks of life. I look at Nas like that too. Mm-hmm. Nas is somebody else I could just call, like they like mentor / big bro. You know what I mean? Anything I might be shaky about or I'm kind of not knowing, I call them or send them a text, and niggas they give me how they feel about it, and I feel like they already did all of this shit before. Mm-hmm. So who am I that they already did it? I mean,
for sure. And so, you know, we know that the like rappers pivoting into acting, this isn't something that's far-fetched. It's pretty common. You know, we mentioned Method Man and Nas also. We got like Will Smith, Tupac, and of course you. So did you face any struggles with wanting to be taken seriously in the acting space and trying to obtain that like the same level of respect that you have as an MC?
From jumping into the acting?
Yeah.
Nah. Cause you know why I feel like the acting was really not as hard as I feel like some people be trying to make it seem. Mm-hmm. It wasn't really that difficult for me to switch to do that. The hardest part of acting to me is the time, like the scheduling. Mm-hmm. The hours and shit like that, but the actual acting of it and the memorizing the script and all of that wasn't like a struggle at all for me. So I never really lost me as a rapper during that transition. So I don't think so. I think more than anything, I was off the scene for a little bit.
Mhm.
I wasn't really dropping music like I had been doing before and really being in everybody's face because I was on the set. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
That
right,
should take your whole year, damn near.
right.
So, but yeah, that wasn't really a hard transition from that back to the rap. Back like I dropped, I think it was Karma 3 and Hoffa while I was filming.
Mhm.
I would be on set all day long, leave set, go to the studio, record a few records, leave the studio, go back to set. I had to be on set 4 or 5 in the morning because I had mad tattoos and shit. They had to do the makeup.
Mhm.
So yeah, my last my 2 years of doing that was hectic because I never wanted to stop the rapping shit. You know what I mean? And that when you really lock into an acting role, that be your life for that moment. Like that's all you can really do. I didn't really get a chance to really kick it with my kids that much. Like every time I was going home, it was to shower and get out of there. Shower, get out of there. So it just kept me it made me want to do the rap even more because I started feeling like, damn, I ain't really been recording like I usually record. You know what I mean? So it just kept a fire burning inside of me for the music. I love the music first and before everything. So I feel like the acting is just an extension of me with the music. It's just something that I always wanted to do, and the music put me in a position to be able to do it.
Mhm. For sure. Okay. You're knocking out some of my questions before I get to them because I was gonna ask you
I
how.
didn't, I didn't, I didn't did these before, baby.
Because
This
I
ain't
was
my
gonna
first.
ask
This ain't
about.
my first rodeo.
It isn't. You've been doing this for a minute. I should have came with some, some little hard hitters,
I'm
but
gonna,
I was
I'm gonna answer 3, 4 of them shits before you even ask me.
because I definitely wanted to know about the balance, right? Or just juggling, right? Because
Right.
obviously acting, like you said, is going to consume your entire day. Um, what what was the reception you received from your fans? Because they want the music and you're giving them something different, and they had to like be patient and wait. So what like response did you receive from them?
I get a great response. I get a few that be wanting the music,
Yeah,
but I feel like the acting holds them over.
yeah.
That's something you every day. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? And then it's like the way they did it, it was a season, so now you're looking forward to the next episode. I just feel like if you're a supporter of me, it was just dope seeing me in that space with the music. I think that show actually made. I think I gained a lot of new fans off of that probably went and checked my music based on that show, or found out who I was on that show, and then went back and was like, oh, this nigga been rapping, or he was signed to Nas, and this, that, and the third. So I feel like it just it opened up a whole new door for me. Like I was telling somebody the other day, like I get stopped by like older white ladies, older Asian ladies, like people that never used to stop me before. Like they'd be, oh, you know what I mean? Method Man, Wu-Tang. I'm like, oh, that's fire. Like, so just whole different demographic of people tuned into me. And I think it just was dope for my own brand. You know what I mean? Like to show that I do more than rap. I could act too. I could just dip and dabble in different shit.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And it's cool to have a more widespread fan base, right? Because
Yeah.
now that just means that the trajectory is probably going to go even further, you know what I'm saying? And that I think that also can play into a longevity factor too. So that's dope.
I feel like that's what made Tupac like put him in a class of his own. Like niggas couldn't fuck with Pac
Yeah.
because Pac had them records, and then Pac was acting his ass off. Like so, like when you can master both, I feel like it just does something for your legacy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to die. It was like, oh, he was a great rapper. I did it. I did a lot of shit. Like you know what I'm saying. So that's how I want my story to end.
I'm trying to have Davies be a multi-hyphenate.
You know what I'm
Everything.
saying?
Resume just like a scroll, just doing everything.
You feel me?
So what was one of the biggest lessons that you learned while navigating in this new space, this new acting space?
Biggest lesson I learned in acting.
Yeah.
Um, let me see. You gotta really like. I'm so used to just being me and being able to kind of like float through shit. Like with that, you gotta really tell yourself it's more discipline than anything. So you gotta really like get in a state of mind where like, all right, this is for these next 6 months or 7 months or however long we filming. I'm Method Man, so I had to put that in my mind. Like I'm Meth. You know what I'm saying? Like I didn't really want to get out of character You know what I mean? And what made it easy is I rap too.
Right.
So that's what kind of kept it where I wasn't, you know what I'm saying, really getting out of character. But I was like the only rapper on set.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Badass did the first season with us, then he went to Power.
Right.
So I'm the only guy that is an actual rapper on a rap show. Everybody else is an actor. Like literally, that's what they act. You know what I mean? So even down to the rapping, they're acting. You know what I mean? So I had to kind of leave a lot of my rap shit to push it to the side for a little bit, or just be a little more discreet with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Because I'm amongst nothing but actors. You know what I mean? I'm not with rappers or people that do the same things or they're not into the same shit I'm into. So I had to jump into their world for a minute. Same way if like if somebody came to the studio and you coming into my world, I had to jump into their world. So and I liked it. I liked it.
So it's kind of like y'all both are jumping into each other's worlds, right? Because
Yeah, 100%.
you're portraying like what you do on a day-to-day too. So that's
right.
cool.
We was learning from each other. I'm like the rapper where they could talk to me about rap shit, and they the actors, so I could ask them about acting shit. Like, you know what I mean? It worked out.
Mm-hmm. What's one of the hardest scenes you had to film?
Hardest scenes I had to film, season 1, it was a scene where somebody that was real close to meth growing up, the police choked him out and killed him. Mm-hmm. And the camera was basically showing meth. I was on the fire escape. That's when I had the crutches and all that. I had to like run to the fire escape, and I'm screaming at the cop to let my man go, and the cop kills him. You see, like so basically, I had to show the emotion in my face of me watching my best friend die. You know what I mean? And that was tough. But what helped me with that was I actually have very, very close friends that died. You know what I'm saying? Like they wasn't killed by police, but they've been killed in the streets, shit like that. So I just really, it just made me, that was the one scene I actually had an acting coach for. Okay. That one episode, I went and met with this lady. I forgot her name, but I had an acting coach. And she just made me tap into the real life friends that have died. You know what I'm saying? She said, when that scene come up, think about, she made me say their names and shit like that. You know what I mean? And it helped me. It definitely brought me to a space where I might have not been that into that. You know what I mean? I might have not been as emotionally into it because it was acting. Right. I feel like that's the hard part about acting, like really selling the emotion of real life shit. You know what I mean? Of course, I know he's not getting killed. We acting, you know what I mean? But how do I sell that to the world on camera? Mm-hmm. That I just watched my man get choked out by the police. Like, how would I really react if that happened in real life? Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that was probably the hardest scene. All the other shit was like the rapping, all that was easy. But like I said, it's just the time. You're gonna like when I do a rap video, I may do 4 or 5 takes. You know what I'm saying? Different scenes, shit like that. With that, we're gonna do 90 takes. Yeah. For some quick, like, hi, what's up? We're gonna do that 90 times, you know what I'm saying? Like, and you never know which one they're gonna use for the actual show. Like so each time you're doing it, you're giving it you're trying to do it your best. You never know which take is gonna be used for the actual show. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the difference with the rap and the acting. You got to be on point. You know, this rap shit, if we do it in our sleep, if you've been rapping so many years, you do it in your sleep. The acting, you gotta, you know what I mean? You just gotta take it a little more serious.
Okay. So do you watch the show with us as fans or like?
Yeah, I watched it. I watched the first season late. I didn't get to tune into that till later. I think I had like a tour or something happen right after that. But season 2, mm-hmm. I actually every Wednesday we was putting together like a Wu Wednesday. So different like locations in Harlem, different restaurants, like little theaters. We would invite people out and watch the episode. I pull up and all of that. So yeah, I was definitely more. I feel like season 2 people could relate to because it was more music that you had heard before. It was the shit that people know Wu-Tang for. Mm-hmm. Season 1 was more introducing the different members of the group and their life, like their individual life, shit that we really didn't know. You know what I mean? But season 2 came around. I'm doing Cream. Mm-hmm. We're just doing records that people knew. So I just feel like people was much more into it this season. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. For sure. So before the rapping and the acting, you played ball at Towson, right?
Yep.
So looking
And
back,
Richmond.
and Richmond, and okay, and you transferred to Towson.
And I went to Towson, yep.
Got it. So looking back, if you could tell college age Davies anything, what would it be?
Relax, man. Chill out, my nigga. You bugging the fuck out, my nigga. It ain't that deep, my nigga.
I feel you.
That's what I would tell myself. Chill out, man. You got a lot more life to live, dog. It ain't because at that time you really couldn't tell me nothing. Basketball was like a life or death thing for me. Like I got to do this or I'm gonna die. Like I can't breathe without this shit. And when it didn't work, I had to come to the realization that now I'm just a regular. I'm a regular nigga out here again. Like I'm you know what I mean. All these other years playing ball, I've been held to this standard. You know what I mean? I've been traveling. I've been on a team. I couldn't go to this. I couldn't go to that because I had practice. You know what I'm saying? And that was even worse. That made me really look at it like, damn, I just left a college campus to come back to the projects. You know what I mean? But at that time, I thought it was cool. I'm like, fuck this. I'm gonna go be around my niggas. I don't need this school shit. That's how I was telling myself. And fortunately, I was nice with the rap shit and the rap worked out. But what if the rap didn't work? You know what I'm saying? I would always be kicking myself in the ass for my attitude I had. You know what I'm saying? At 18, 19, like, you know what I mean? I just should have looked at shit differently. But you know what I mean? You really can't go back. I don't really cry over spilled milk neither, but I would have definitely told myself, like, chill, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Relax. I was hot-headed.
I think we all could kind of tell ourselves to like just cool out a little bit from back then because we kind of just was all over the place. You know, because at 18, 19, 20, you think you're grown. And then once you're much older.
I was grown at 16. You couldn't tell me nothing. So 18, I was like a man with a family. You couldn't tell me shit. I had no kids. Living with my mother, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no car, all that type of shit. So, but you couldn't tell me in my mind I wasn't grown.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? Now I'm grown. At 33, I got a family. I pay bills. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm a grown man. Right. I wasn't no fucking grown man at 18.
Exactly.
At all. Nowhere near grown man. Yeah. You know what it was? I was doing grown shit. I was fucking. I would smoke here and there. I would drink. I was doing shit that I felt like adults was doing.
Right.
So it made me feel in my mind, I'm an adult. I had a lot to learn, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think we've all somewhat kind of had that journey where it's just like, yeah, if I could do that over, I would have done a lot of things differently. You would have done some of the same things, right? But you would have done a lot of things differently and you would have kind of just taken your time. You kind of just would have enjoyed whatever it was, whether it was a high or a low, you kind of just would have just, you know what I'm saying? Right. Just felt it, right? Instead of trying to rush, because now.
When I look back at it, it's a blur now, because I rushed through it. I wanted to be old so bad. I couldn't wait to be 18. I couldn't wait to be 21 so I could fucking rent a car, shit like that. Like I just wanted to get older. Now I want this shit to slow down. I'll be 34 in June. I'm like, slow this shit up, man. Like, I feel 40. I can feel 40. That nigga ain't too far. Like, and at 18, when you say 40, that's like a old, like that nigga old as 40 years old is old to me.
Yeah.
Then it was. Now it's not, because I'm 6 years from that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I still feel young. I still feel better than ever. Like, but word, that age be moving.
Mm-hmm.
That shit fly by. And when you make emotional decisions, you can fuck your life up.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? You can fuck up years of your life. Then you trying to play catch up. You know what I'm saying? You trying to get back. Like, I mean, I done went through all that shit. I'm just glad I'm in a space now where I can, as long as I keep my head where it's at, I'm good. You know what I mean?
For sure. So you mentioned before that, you know, you'll talk to meth sometimes if you have with like different auditions that you might be doing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you share anything, or are you kind of just keeping that under wraps?
Oh, other films?
Yeah, or other shows.
Yeah, I ain't gonna speak on. You know, when them shits come out, they put that shit everywhere. So I ain't gonna speak on it.
Okay, but you have.
But I've done just in this year maybe four or five for like movies, not series, for actual films. So
okay,
I'm looking good in that space right now.
Okay, well that's what's up. Congratulations to that. Thriving in more than one space. That's important. You know what I mean? Especially just for your legacy, right? Because you want to be more than a rapper, but we all want to be more than just one thing, because, you know, we have more than one purpose to fulfill. So that's congrats on that. Is it intimidating for you at all? Because there's definitely a difference between doing like a show and doing an actual movie.
Nah, I did it. The first thing I ever did was a movie.
Okay.
I did Beats with Anthony Anderson. That was my first film.
Okay.
It's on, I think it's still on Netflix right now. But yeah, I shot that in Chicago with Anthony Anderson, and Chris Robinson shot that movie.
Okay.
He actually did the pilot for Wu-Tang season 1, the first episode. Mm-hmm. So that's how I got introduced to the role. Chris hit me after we did Beats, mm-hmm, and was like, "Yo, would you play Method Man?" I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'll play Method Man. That's some crazy, what?" Uh-huh. I just know that's something that's gonna live forever. You know what I mean? So I did an audition for, but they basically already had me for that role. You know what I mean? I did like 1 or 2 auditions, and then I got the role.
Yeah.
Word.
Okay. So what adjustments have you had to make, just musically and professionally, as you like are continuing to evolve as a rapper and as an actor?
Let me think. Just being less reachable.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like really not, I don't be in the hood as much as I used to be. Mm-hmm. Or if I do, I'm in and out. I don't really sit on the block no more. Like, you know what I mean? I did that with shit on the radio. Like I've been at my most lit famous. I've been chilling on the block. You know what I'm saying? I don't really do that as much.
Okay.
Just watching how shit be playing out. Like with just different artists, how it play out. You know what I mean? So I really value and cherish making it home.
Yeah.
And I didn't used to. I used to be out all motherfucking night, wouldn't care. You know what I'm saying? But now I really cherish like knowing I made it back through them doors, mm-hmm, after I've just been outside with whoever. You know what I mean? Because you never really know how people feel about you. Mm-hmm. So just for me to get back to the crib, it'd be a like an achievement. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely fell back from a lot of the shit I was doing, a lot of the areas I would be in heavily, a lot of people I was with. I just changed it up. You know what I mean? I had to change it up in order for me to succeed in what I'm doing. I had to change that shit up, switch it up. You know what I mean? Where people really can't read my every move, mm-hmm, or really put a, you got people that just want to know what you're doing, mm-hmm, all the time, and that ain't for everybody. You know what I mean? That's for the people that is on the same plane as me, like same mental space, trying to get where I'm trying to go, mm-hmm, and we can stay in tune. But other than that, people will bring you further away from where you're trying to go. Mm-hmm. They ain't gonna push you towards that shit. You know what I mean? So I really just choose my friends a little differently, who I got around me. Like I said, a lot of my best friend died, Shooter. That was my best friend. He passed in 2020. So since he passed, I really just watch, you know what I mean, people's intentions and just, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I be trying to read people a little more than I used to. Before I'd be like, oh yeah, that's your man, he good. Bring him, bring all. Like, now I'd be like, who that? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I told you was good. All them other niggas ain't good. Like, you know what I mean? So I changed that up a little bit.
Well, I'm definitely sorry to hear about, the loss of your friend. I know things like that can be super, super tough. And, it's not a linear thing where you just are okay the next day or the next year or 2 years or 5 years.
I'll never be okay. Like everything I do since then is, it come with, it ain't as fun. It ain't as exciting. It's a little different. Cause I did everything with him. Like everything that made, like the reason you even interviewing me, it was with him. Like that's what really helped create this whole shit. You know what I mean? And he passed on me. But yeah, it changed shit, and it just make me see the world a little different. You know what I'm saying? I don't really be. I know I won't have nobody that close to me like that. You know what I'm saying? That's gone. You know what I mean? So it just make me read people and just accept people for who they are. You can't make people do shit they don't want to do. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I just really had to find the crew that wants to do what I want to do and trying to get where I'm trying to go. You know what I mean?
What's up? Well, speaking of, getting where you're trying to go and, just sticking to just the home base, but not actually like physically being there, but you're opening a storefront in Harlem, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Fact.
So let's talk about that a little bit. I saw like a video of you kind of going through like the actual storefront, I think in like the beginning stages, but can you tell me like what it's even about, how you decided to do this venture, and just, anything else that you want to share about it?
I've been wanting to get a store. I just was waiting for the right location in Harlem. Like I wanted to make sure the location was somewhere where it was a lot of traffic, somewhere where it was a train close, people could get there from anywhere in the city. It was a bodega. I found a bodega. Shouts to my girl Michelle. She put it together, found the space and all of that. And we got it, and then I flipped it. It's gonna be a like a smoke shop / boutique with like all of the different brands and different things I've done over the years. I'm gonna have like all of my products and shit like that in there. But it's really like, if you're familiar with New York City and a bodega or corner store, you can get everything in there. You know what I mean? And my spot gonna be somewhat the same minus the food. You know what I mean? You come in there and get health products, whatever it is, clothes. You know what I mean? It's just different shit that really things I fuck with. Like all of the different things that I'm into. Like I got a lot of homeboys that make clothing, you know what I mean? That they can't really get their clothes in stores and shit like that. I'm gonna sell it out my store. You got a lot of black artists that paint, do shit like that. They don't have nowhere to sell their work. Hang it up in my store. You know what I mean? Like, you sell it out of my spot. I could put my tax on it. You know what I mean? Because it's coming out of my store. Now an artist that ain't making no money, he got a little hustle now. You know, he can sell this shit out my spot. So that was really for the community, really for, like, you know what I mean? Just where I'm from, just wanting to have some of my own in the hood. You know what I mean? Like something that I can ride by and be like, that's my shit. I always wanted to do that. You know what I'm saying? I done rolled past 1,000 stores. Now I can pull up and that's mine. So it feels great. And I can employ. A lot of times people be wanting to come with me with the rap, but they ain't doing nothing. Like, I can't just bring a bunch of grown men and ain't doing nothing. You know what I mean? But now I can employ people that might have just been getting out of jail and can't get a job. You know what I'm saying? Now you come holler at me and we could put it together. Somebody you could get a job, you get off your feet. So that was my whole thing behind the store. That was another thing I got from Nip. I watched Nip do that with his hood. You know what I'm saying? And it was a beautiful thing. You know what I mean? So I just always wanted to, you know what I mean? I just feel like it's a form of giving back to where you from, or to the people that support you the most. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. I'm from Brooklyn, so I know all about just like corner stores and being a one-stop shop. And so now you kind of got like an elevated version of it. And
so you know everything I'm talking about. I'm talking to you like you from Wisconsin or some shit.
Top cheese, all of that. Like I know about
you know what's going on.
I'm very like in tune. So you have any other investments that you might have in the pipeline that we could look forward to also?
Yeah, I'm gonna do a few of these. I feel like that's just the flagship. That's gonna be the flagship store. You know what I'm saying? But I already started looking in Queens.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a few of them.
Are we gonna get one?
I just like it. I like knowing, like, you know what I mean? That's more than the rap shit. That's more than the acting. That's like, you know what I mean? That's somewhere where people from all over the world, when they come to New York City, they could go to my store. You know what I'm saying? If I'm there, if I'm not there, it's like, oh, I went to Dave East's store, took pictures. I got a t-shirt.
Yeah.
I got you know what I mean? I got a bong. I bought whatever I bought. I got a soda, whatever I got. But I just feel like that's just dope. It just, like I said, I'm about branding. My whole shit is about branding. So I just feel like that just it expands my brand. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got to make sure we get one. Brooklyn can't be left out. I know you mentioned Queens, and I know you mess with Queens heavy because
I used to live in Queens. I lived in Queens for a long time. I was back and forth. I was in Ravenswood, right next to Queensbridge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was like raised by like Springfield Gardens, Jamaica, St. Albans on that side.
Well, that's all right.
It's a little far from y'all, but
All right. I fuck with Jamaica, Shadyville. I got homies from out there.
Exactly. I claim Brooklyn.
All of that.
Yeah, I claim Brooklyn now, so but
all right. Where you at? Where you from in Brooklyn?
East Flatbush. So I'm like right next to Canarsie.
Flatbush.
Yeah.
Canarsie.
Exactly. Right in the middle. So what else do you have going on for the rest of 2022 rather?
More music. I'm gonna drop some. I got some albums coming out this year. I feel like I'm gonna get back to speed with that.
Okay.
until I get called back on set. You know what I'm saying? We got season 3. We about to start filming for that, for the Wu-Tang. So in the meantime, I got a couple projects I've been cooking up, a couple different, same way I did with the mic and keys. A few different one-offs with different producers that I've been locked in with for a while. So maybe 2 or 3 more projects for me this year.
Okay, cool. And so my last question, in what ways do you feel like you've leveled up in 20, I know we're only in March, but in comparison to 2021 and like 2022, these couple of months, because you've had a lot going on in just like 3 months. In what ways do you feel like you've kind of just like leveled up from last year?
From last year, I think I leveled up mentally more than anything. I feel like last 2 years, honestly, my head was fucked up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like a lot of people don't experience burying they closest. Like, you know what I'm saying? We all familiar with death, but like the one that close death hit a little different. So my head was fucked up for a strong year and a half. So I feel like just mentally, this year I got off. I shook it. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at it in a different way. I look at the good shit we was able to do. I don't really look at it like, damn, he gone. Like I really just I kind of shook it, you know what I'm saying? And said, what would he really want me to be doing? You know, nigga don't want me out here sad, you know what I'm saying? Nigga want me to get to it like we was getting to it. So that's what made me really get with the store and really push the button on that. Like, nah, let's get that done. You know what I mean? Like merch, I took merch a lot more serious this year. Like just a lot of different things. I feel like I overcame a lot of shit. So it's like, I'll be wanting to put it behind me and like, nah, let's rock and roll now. So I just mentally feel like I'm in a much better space than I was the last 2 years. You know what I mean?
Okay. I'm happy to hear that. And congratulations on all your success, all future success that's to come. Really, really happy to see the movement, the Dave Beast movement, and watching
Appreciate it.
thrive. It's a pleasure to watch.
Dope.
Alrighty. So thanks for your time today. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You too, mama. Word. Good looking out.
All right. Bye.